In today's video, we are going to learn all about the nutrition facts label, what it is, where to find it, and how to read and understand it. We will also learn how we can use the nutrition facts label as a guide to making healthy choices when we are at the grocery store or market. Let's get started. So what exactly is a nutrition facts label? The nutrition facts label is a label that is required by the Food and Drug Administration, otherwise known as the FDA. This label is found on the packaging of most food and beverage products. It tells us important information about a food or beverage. For example, it tells us the serving size or how much we should be eating of a food. It tells us how many calories are in each serving. It also tells us how much fat, protein, fiber, sodium, and cholesterol are in a food. And finally, it tells us the nutrient content, or what vitamins and minerals are found in the food. By reading the nutrition facts label and finding out all of this information, we can make healthy choices when we are shopping at the grocery store. Here are some pictures of where we can find the nutrition facts label on prepackaged food products. For canned foods, it's usually on the back of the can. You can also see that next to the nutrition facts label is the ingredient list. We always want to look at the ingredient list as well to see what different types of foods were put together to make this one food. Reading the ingredients list helps us to know what's actually going into our bodies. On the right side, we have a picture of a nutrition facts label on a box. Usually boxed food has the label on the sides or on the back of the box. You may also notice in grocery stores if anything was prepared or cooked in the store itself and not at a factory, it may not always have a nutrition facts label, which is okay. Reading and understanding a nutrition facts label may seem confusing at first, but it doesn't need to be that way. By reading the nutrition facts label in a step-by-step order from top to bottom, it can be a lot easier to read and understand. Let's try it out together. Here we have a nutrition facts label for 1 can of ready-to-serve chunky vegetable soup. Let's start by looking at the serving size at the top of the label. All of the information on the nutrition facts label is based on 1 serving. We can see for this can of soup, the serving size is 1 cup. Below that, we can see the servings per container or can is 2. That means there are 2 servings or 2 cups in this 1 can of soup. The information on this label is only for the 1 cup though. Now that we know the serving size, let's move on to the calories. We can see there are 125 calories in 1 serving of this soup. How many calories would there be in the entire can of soup? The answer would be 250, right? We just multiply the 125 by 2 since there are 2 servings in the container. Now that we know the calories, let's move on to everything that's in the red. These are things we want to try to limit since they are not so healthy for our bodies. Total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. We can also see that there is the amount of sugars in this can of soup. Sugar is another thing that we want to try to limit, especially added sugar. Now that we know what we should limit, let's look at everything in the green. These are things we want to get enough of or more of because they are super healthy for our bodies. We can see fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron. At the bottom, we can see percent daily value. On the right side of the nutrition facts label, for each of the nutrients, we can see a percent with a number. The percent daily value are numbers that can be used as a quick guide to show us foods that are good or poor sources of a particular nutrient. A good guide is to know that 5% or less is considered low in a nutrient, and 20% or more is considered high in a nutrient. Let's look at the label. We can see that this can of soup has 120% daily value of vitamin A, which is great. It's above 20, which means it is a good source of vitamin A. However, we can look at the fiber, which is only 5% daily value. 5% is considered low, so this can of soup is not a great source of fiber. By following these step-by-step order, or reading the nutrition facts label from the top to bottom, it's a lot easier to understand and know what is in your food and how many nutrients it has. Within the last year, there have been some changes made to the nutrition facts label by the FDA. Let's go over what some of those changes are. First is serving size. You can see on the new label that serving size is in a bolder, bigger font. This makes it easier to read and see. They have also updated the amount of serving sizes on certain foods so it can reflect a more realistic amount that people actually eat. Next is calories. You can see that the calories on the new label are much bigger and bolder. This makes it easier to see the calories per serving when you first glance at the nutrition facts label. Next, they also included how much added sugar is in a food product. This is very important because we know that added sugar is not the healthiest for us, so now we can look at how much added sugar versus natural sugar is in a food. Finally, they changed what nutrients are required on labels. You can see that vitamin D and potassium are now required on the label. You can also see the actual amounts of each nutrient in every serving. Now that we know how to read and understand a nutrition facts label, hopefully the next time you shop at the grocery store or market, you will be looking out for the nutrition facts label on food products and comparing them. Remember, we can use the nutrition facts label as a guide to making healthy choices at the store. We can compare two similar products to see which one is the healthiest for us. Remember, we want to try to limit saturated fat, cholesterol, sodium, and added sugar, and we want to try to increase fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, potassium, and iron. Thank you for watching today's video. Stay tuned for more helpful nutrition tips and tricks from the Nutrition Education Program here at CAP. Bye!